He's a generational talented fighter. Like, he accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish.
Yeah.
Again, but I feel like, he did it on his own.
Watching Floyd fight is actually more my style of that perfect body. I do a pound for pound ranking. I'm trying to Pacquiao jump more weight classes. What he did pound for pound to me was more impressive.
Hard work first. Do it quick, do it quick. Your mind, your heart, your focus. Let's go.
Floyd Mayweather emphasizes that while quickness can decline over time, strength, technique, and an unmatched legacy continue to endure, keeping the door open for him to still come out on top.
You lose speed, you may lose athleticism, but that power gonna still be there. Look at George Foreman.
Right.
Max Kellerman commends Manny Pacquiao, pointing out that his accomplishments in the sport surpass those of Floyd Mayweather Jr., and noting that he remained effective even after a long period out of the ring.
Isn't going broke.
Right.
So if he is, that he makes all the money in the world for a Pacquiao fight and rides off into the sunset a rich man, I wish him the best.
I want to fight somebody. I don't care about the money and all that.
Who you want him to fight?
That's not good with Pacquiao. Pacquiao just drew with Barrios.
And you see what he look like?
Yeah, because they're not on that level anymore.
So what do you think's going to happen here, though? What do we think's going to happen in Mayweather-Pacquiao? Are you interested in it?
Yep.
Is it a good fight?
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Watch it. The first one was awful, but now they're 50 years old. Let's see it.
Nicholas Irving points out that a present-day bout between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao would likely draw minimal excitement, since the matchup reached its peak popularity more than 10 years ago.
I said, today is his birthday. He just turned 49.
Okay. I mean, granted, Pacquiao and Floyd are still better than a lot of fighters out that are active right now. That's how good they were in their prime, and that's the dedication they had to the sport. But, like, again, no one asked for a Floyd-Pacquiao fight, part 2. We've already watched the first one, and I think that first one should have happened way before in his career. Way before that fight, back when they were both, hungry dogs and not hopping around trying to this fight to keep a whatever record. Pacquiao's my guy too, but I just don't have a desire to watch these two go back at it again. I saw the first one, and it was just like every other Floyd fight after he broke his hand.
Joe Rogan explains to Jim Lampley that Manny Pacquiao possesses extraordinary punching power, highlighting his dominance across 8 different weight divisions and the remarkable record he built throughout his career.
Kept his power through 8 weight classes. That is just wild. Like, what other fighter can you name that went through 8 different weight classes as a world champion?
I can't. None. No. Obvious.
Jim Lampley describes power punching as a technical discipline, noting that Manny Pacquiao instinctively executes it with sharp accuracy.
Power punching is not a physical gift. Power punching is a science. Power punching is the product of real technical knowledge. Power punching is about footwork, weight shift, the angle at which you deliver the punch, all sorts of things not directly related to your strength or, quote, power.
Despite his age, Manny Pacquiao continues to show resolve and strength, maintaining that success in boxing comes from passion, ability, and commitment rather than the number of years.
Boxing for 4 years. It's good for me, for my body, because I've been I started boxing when I was young, so good for my body to rest for 4 years, and then now I come back. I feel like I'm, the passion, the fire in my eyes, to work hard, like that, still there.
Getting back into training and stepping into boxing again reinvigorates Manny Pacquiao, strengthening his confidence, sharpening his focus, and restoring his sense of purpose.
It's a good thing for me that I have rest. I have time to rest for the longest time in my career. it help a lot for my body and my mind relaxing. And this time around, I am so excited and feeling like I'm young.
Do you feel you have something to prove in this fight, Manny? I know you've accomplished so much, but do you feel you personally, you want to show something to the world or prove something?
Oh yeah, it's a challenge that they might think that oh, Manny's career is over and he's old like that. So something wrong that I need to prove it, and I'm not done yet.
Freddie Roach, who trains Manny Pacquiao, is confident that in a rematch Manny could defeat Floyd and display what he was unable to showcase in their first meeting because of specific circumstances.
He had turned back the clock maybe 5 years. It looked like he was quicker, sharper, more explosive than I've seen him since pre-Floyd Mayweather fight.
I do agree with you, and he gave up his killer instinct a lot by he didn't want to hurt his opponents, and all he had to do was beat them. And after losing a couple bad decisions, that kind of went away a little. Finally.
So did you see a little more killer instinct?
Definitely, yeah. In this training camp, it was. Even in his last fight, it was a little more. He's shown a little bit more each fight, and then in this training camp.
Manny Pacquiao commits himself completely to boxing, explaining that his attention is now solely on the sport, with no outside distractions pulling him away.
I miss the sport I love since when I was young, and but it's good for me because when I rest 4 years, like my body is still okay, and then I keep on, even though I hung up my gloves, but I always work out, playing basketball.
Oh, you do still?
Yeah, work out, playing basketball, gym, and badminton, like that. Because my house is, I have my own gym, so
that's good.
I can work out basketball, badminton, like that, things like that.
But what did Freddie Roach say when you called him and said, Freddie, we're gonna fight again? What did he say to you? Remember?
Yeah, he's happy. He's just observing me, and then he saw my speed, my movement, like that, still there.
During training camp, Manny Pacquiao displays impressive hand speed, combining sharp accuracy with fluid movement, highlighting his fast reactions and dynamic fighting ability.
Samahan natin sa laban niya.
Ang isang nag-undergo ng training ay hindi lamang po ito para sa ibang tao o para sa kanino man, kundi para din sa ating sarili. We undergo training because we want to learn more and we want to improve ourselves.
Manny Pacquiao enters camp with complete focus, preparing himself for another showdown with Floyd Mayweather. This time, he dedicates all his attention to training, putting past injuries, setbacks, and distractions aside. Each strike, movement, and drill is carried out with purpose, developing both his speed and power while staying controlled and accurate. He works with discipline, refining his timing, footwork, and overall approach to perform at his highest level without unnecessary risk. His mindset remains firm. This rematch centers on ability, concentration, and execution. With full commitment, he trains hard every day, ready to give his all while preserving both his condition and his legacy.
The time comes, come to my mind, my heart, I'm busy, tired. Then forget about boxing. Yeah, right? But as long as you have passion, dedication,
you have fire, then yeah.
Yes, of course. But look at your body also. Sometimes your mind is active, but your body is not.
Mine stopped a long time ago.
So that's why I'm trying.
Nicholas Irving states that if a bout between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. was truly destined to happen, it would have taken place more than a decade ago. He points out that around 11 years back, both fighters were in their prime, and the boxing world was fully engaged in the potential matchup. However, the fight did not come together at that time. Now, many years later, the level of excitement has dropped considerably. Irving suggests that the renewed talk of a rematch feels more like an effort to stage a spectacle for audiences rather than a genuine clash between fighters at their peak. In his view, the timing takes away from the matchup's authenticity, making it seem more like a commercial attraction than a historically meaningful contest.
I think it just, beating up, Mike Tyson and the whole Pacquiao thing, just like no one asked for it.
No, and in terms of the Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao fight, I'm with you, and I am a boxing fan. When they fought the first time, it was 5 years too late.
Exactly.
It's been 11 years since that first fight.
Damn. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Like a legit 11 year. I think they fought somewhere 2016.
Yeah.
Maybe 2015, 2016. This is the fight nobody asked for.
Yep.
And if y'all didn't make that fight worth watching when you were 11 years young.
Sean Porter recently offered his view on the potential matchup between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr., stating that Manny's decision to take the fight may not hold as much importance as it seems. He suggests that the main reason behind Mayweather stepping back into the ring is financial gain. Porter explains that Floyd's image throughout his career has been centered on wealth, luxury, and living life on his own terms, highlighted by private jets, lavish spending, and high-profile appearances. He adds that many of Mayweather's key choices have often been driven by the goal of maximizing revenue, rather than focusing solely on competition or legacy.
You see a fighter retire and then come back, don't jump to the conclusion that that fighter is broke. Don't jump to the conclusion that that fighter don't know what else to do with their lives. Understand that that fighter has put in countless hours and days and years, upwards to the 30 and 40. And when that person says, I'm going back to work, that's essentially what they're doing. They're just going back to work. Can't be too mad at it.
I think the main thing, I don't know how much people are mad and hate Manny, but Floyd's whole persona was, I print money. I'm bigger than the dollar.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Floyd Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
I got a private jet. I got a house here, mansion here. Everything was money, 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 money. And people watched Floyd for majority of his career for him to lose.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you lost all that money. People just want to see him Floyd lose because of the persona he built up. Floyd Money Mayweather.
Porter goes on to say that a genuine rematch with Manny was never originally in Mayweather's plans. After their first encounter, Floyd showed he had clearly won and stepped away, leaving no real path for a second fight at that time. In Porter's view, the idea of revisiting this matchup now is less about settling who is better and more about generating revenue, attracting attention, and tapping into the lasting interest in their rivalry. He adds that while Manny's involvement may bring excitement for fans, the underlying reason for the bout, as Porter sees it, is rooted in Mayweather's business-minded approach and his focus on maintaining financial advantage.
Forced at almost 50 years old to come out of retirement to jeopardize his own, which he never really wanted to jeopardize. He never wanted to give Pacquiao his rematch. I beat him.
Yeah.
I walked away in his mind and with a record to back it up. It's an art. He has a seat at the table of the greatest who ever did it. I don't think he ever wanted to jeopardize it. And so if you're coming back having to jeopardize it when you didn't really want to, and people could argue it's not jeopardized, he'll always beat Pacquiao 7 days a week and all that. That's a different dynamic.
I don't think a rematch was needed at the time either.
Well, it's not needed now.
Yeah, but that back then, yeah.
Yeah, it's not needed now. So I think there's a difference though between, I'm fighting for money. Yes, I'm still in my prime or close to it. I can still operate at the highest level, and I'm coming back because I owe people money and I need to get back.
Meanwhile, Paulie Malignaggi and Chris Algieri break down Manny Pacquiao's power and technique, pointing out that even at 47, his punches still carry noticeable force. Malignaggi describes his shots as feeling like solid impacts, combining both speed and strength. He explains that unlike many fighters who depend only on quickness, Pacquiao adds sharp snap to his punches, allowing them to land with real effect despite his age. They also discuss his performance against Mario Barrios, noting that after a 4.5-year break, he was still throwing with intent and power, even if the explosive sharpness from his prime had lessened. Malignaggi adds that Barrios' limited reactions played a role in how effective Pacquiao appeared, as Barrios tends to throw only when properly set, making him a more predictable and accessible target.
Keith Thurman, Pacquiao has bricks in his gloves. Like they're just
He was
hard.
different at 47, even 40, even at 40, yeah, that snap.
I know the snap. The difference is so I always said this about Pacquiao. But like, how's he punch? I'm like, he punches good. He's very, very fast, but also at the end of that is a brick. Because you could be really fast, you hit somebody with a feather, it's not, ooh, it gets you reacted. No, he hits you, it's like, boom, whoa. And again, I'm not the only person who says it. Thurman said the same thing. Another guy that he fought way older and at 147.
But it wasn't the Pacquiao that, again, the way he looked against Barrios was very different, man. He was pushing his punch. I never saw him push out punches because he couldn't generate the speed and the snap.
Also never saw him at their 4.5 years.
Algieri and Malignaggi also examine how aging influences a fighter's speed. They explain that after a long time away, even someone at Pacquiao's level cannot completely recreate the sharp explosiveness he had in his 20s and 30s. However, the strength behind his punches and their accuracy still produce results, showcasing his refined technique. The conversation then shifts to legacy, noting that a potential rematch with Floyd Mayweather Jr., while interesting, would primarily hold importance for the fighters themselves. Although fans may debate its relevance, the result would carry personal significance, serving as a final chapter in their careers. Overall, the discussion underscores Pacquiao's lasting power, his tactical understanding of boxing, and how his legacy remains strong even in the later stages of his journey.
You're gonna snap your punches, if you come back at 30 years old from 20 years old, But 47, he wasn't snapping no punches.
He threw him hard enough because Barrios didn't do anything.
Barrios sucks. He doesn't throw any punches.
Barrios not gonna throw punches because
Barrios also has to set himself the way he wants to set himself, put his hands in a certain position, his feet in a certain position, and then he throws punches. Like he basically announces to the whole world, hey, okay, I'm gonna throw a punch now. So, it's not the same thing. There was no reaction from Barrios because Barrios won't react unless he's in a set position to punch. He will not punch unless he's in any other position. So yeah, sometimes Pacquiao's hands can put him out of position. Barrios will have a punch out when he's out of position. He's just not that kind of guy.
This idea too, and you brought it up about Pacquiao saying, "I'm gonna give him that L. This is gonna carry that. He's gonna carry this with him the rest of his life." Is legacy secure at this point?
Yeah.
If Mayweather loses, should he, which is certainly possible.
Dan Rafael explains that the potential fight between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather has been strategically scheduled, with both fighters' timelines aligned to target a September 19th event at the Sphere in Las Vegas. He stresses that this arrangement is deliberate, giving each boxer enough time to prepare while also building anticipation among fans. The selected venue highlights the scale of the event, aiming to deliver more of a grand spectacle than a typical boxing match.
In an exhibition bout, also probably in April, but in a different location. And it sets them up on the same time schedule where if they're going to do a rematch September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas, the fact that Netflix is doing it is not surprising at all. That's always been what they've been talking about doing. I think both fighters and everybody involved understands that it's one thing when everybody wanted to see the fight in 2015, he put it on pay-per-view and it's going to be a blockbuster, which it was. They charged $100 for the pay-per-view, the biggest price ever for a pay-per-view. And it set every conceivable record that you could think of in terms of gate, boxing, pay-per-view buys, overall revenue, the sponsorships, the merchandise. You pick a metric and it broke the record. That would not be the case now, 11 years down the road. Since they first fought in 2015. So they needed somebody to put up big money, and it really fits the profile of what Netflix is trying to do.
Rafael also points to Netflix's involvement in promoting the event, explaining that it aligns with the platform's approach of backing major spectacles that attract widespread attention. Instead of relying solely on traditional pay-per-view, Netflix offers a far broader global audience, extending the reach well beyond typical boxing fans. He notes that the collaboration makes sense, given that both fighters are iconic figures whose names alone generate significant interest and media coverage. The conversation further highlights that the bout is driven not only by competition, but also by calculated business decisions. Coordinating timelines, selecting a high-profile venue, and partnering with a platform like Netflix are all strategic steps aimed at maximizing revenue and worldwide exposure. Rafael emphasizes that the combination of timing, promotional strategy, and location elevates the fight beyond a standard sporting event, positioning it as a major cultural moment in boxing.
I want to do big events, and whatever you want to say about it, Maybe not for guys like me or you who are involved in doing boxing related stuff on a daily basis, but for the regular person that's scrolling through Netflix to see what's on a weekend night, they're going to look and say, oh, Mayweather, Pacquiao, I know those guys. They're as famous as any boxers in the world. And if it doesn't cost me any extra money and I'm just paying my normal subscription, yeah, I'll check it out. And it's going to do big numbers. That's why Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson did the numbers it did. And that's why, we saw them be interested in a fight like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua and the other events that they have done. Tyson Fury's come back as they try to, build up more in the UK. And this is going to be the same situation. They put out a lot of money to do the fight, but not as much as what obviously they generated in 2015. And, it will be, it'll be a big event, but how much of a fight it will be, who the heck?
That wraps up today's video. Make sure to stay tuned for more. See you in the next one.